Britain's brilliant, isn't it? It's got everything. It's got Paddington Bear and Stonehenge and regular bin collections, but all of this hangs in the balance thanks to immigration.
It is just over 24 hours since the UK lifted its 7-year migration restrictions on Romania and Bulgaria.
They are cunning, cowardly and cruel, and usually appear in massive hordes. They represent the elements of sneakiness and subterranean destruction.
Bulgarians, as a series of eye-opening reports made devilishly clear, live in a kind of medieval realm twinned with Game of Thrones, consisting entirely of horses and carts and people lugging giant sacks around like they're in a live recreation of a Bruegel painting. In fact, as Channel 4's footage made clear, Bulgaria is a kind of open-air shit car museum where the only form of entertainment is driving over the nation's one speed bump.
Again? Really?
Romania, meanwhile, is apparently also a medieval Game of Thrones Bruegel painting squalor pot, according to this news footage, apparently beamed live from the year 1386. The news certainly painted a graphic picture of deprivation and hot horse-on-cart action.
And then they turn around and go, and they're stealing our jobs.
Yeah, Kevin, we'd like to keep you on. You've been great, but we just found a slovenly, illiterate thief. And we think he might do a little bit better than you, so you gotta go.
Comparing it to the numbers of Polish people who came to the UK in 2004, the picture being painted now is that of a public services nightmare. The country will buckle under the strain. The headlines seem to ooze fear. Some academics reckon that has made Britain look foolish.
I think there's something like 68,000 Romanians currently in the UK. A tiny proportion of those will be Roma. The majority are taking jobs that either we're not prepared to do or we don't have the skill base to fill. Otherwise, we would have filled it ourselves.
Rather than make speculative forecasts, which have very little chance of being accurate, we've concentrated on the things that are within our control, tightening the benefit system, putting in place tougher controls and making sure that anyone that does come to Britain is coming here to work hard.
Well, if you look at the figures from Migration Watch UK, they say 50,000 Bulgarians and Romanians are likely to come over the next 5 years. That's a city the size of Nottingham.
Good evening. Millions of Romanians and Bulgarians gained the right to work in Britain from today, but so far there's been no rush at the border. Europe's Employment Commissioner said there was unlikely to be any major increase in immigration here, while Romania insists that the UK isn't even the preferred destination for its citizens.
Having spoken to people here, it's clear that contrary to popular myth, Romanians have no wish to go to the UK to live on benefit.
I would never leave my country, this woman says. For what? I'm a patriot.
What would be the point of leaving Romania just for social benefits?
I make my money here, I have my family here and my friends here. I feel at home here, I would never go.
Judging by the weather here, who can blame them?
At Luton Airport this morning, the flight from Romania wasn't even full, and many of the arrivals already live here, or like Victor Spirasau, have jobs lined up. And there is evidence that thousands are indeed coming here to work.
This is a website which helps British companies recruit Romanian workers. Nearly 5,000 posts are on here, anything from care assistants to taxi drivers to nurses. In fact, last year there were 62,000 UK jobs advertised in Romania alone.
Newcomers working in Romania as reporters, the new Romanians in Britain.
Romanian diplomats here say that their citizens are deeply offended by their portrayal as scroungers and criminals in the UK press. They point out that most of their citizens are hard-working and will contribute to British society.
Migrants actually fill in the jobs across different sectors and across different levels of qualification, but what we're finding is that they generally tend to be much more educated than the average person in the UK, the average native-born person in Britain, and they also tend to fill in the jobs in the very highly paid and the very low paid jobs, so not so much in the middle, but mostly polarized.
I know lots of doctors, nurses, scientists, lawyers like myself. We have integrated in this wonderful country and we have been contributing.
Yeah, whatever. Come on, turn your pockets out.
If you read the statistics, most of the Romanians who are here have got jobs, are doing well.
Living it here, the statistics can't be right.
And when people aren't doubting statistics, they just make them up on their own.
the majority are here to claim their benefits, isn't it? They get.
You think the majority here to claim benefits?
Yeah, majority. Yeah, definitely.
So you want to see a clampdown?
Big time.
It's quite important for politicians to step back and explain that this is not the end of the world, that on the whole, immigration and indeed free movement within the European Union have been quite beneficial to the UK economy.
Despite the politicians' tough talk and the tabloid headlines, fears of a flood of migrants here have been dismissed as nonsense. And according to Romanian officials, most of their countrymen would prefer to live in Spain or Italy anyway.
You know, pretty rich, successful country with deep economic roots, you know, and a wonderful democratic heritage. We're going to be okay. You know, whether we get 100,000 Romanians or 1 million, we're going to be okay. We won't get 1 million, by the way.
No matter what the actual numbers turn out to be, the immigration debate will continue to rage on in Britain as it has done for decades.